All right, you guys, welcome to day 2 of your 12 days of fitness. Today, you're not going to get your heart rate up like we did yesterday with the HIIT workout. Today, we're going to focus on balance. But balance is a component of your health and fitness that's really important. And as we age, we lose our balance. So we really need to keep it in the practice, circulate it into your workouts. And so today is just going to be all about balance. And I prefer that you're barefoot for this class. And I'm also going to recommend bringing a chair into the picture so that if you need a little bit of support with some of these moves, you've got something to hold on to. It's not cheating when you're starting off practicing your balance to hold on to something. You want to keep it safe. While I'm talking, let's go ahead and push up on our toes and push back on your heels. When you push back on your heels, your toes are going to come off the floor. You want to maintain good posture here. Shoulders are relaxed. Your core muscles are engaged. But we're warming up the feet and the ankles because we want them warmed up before we get into some of these moves. It's just going to help to loosen up some of the tightness in the ankles. And the tightness in the ankles can really prohibit your mobility and therefore your balance. So another good reason to incorporate these moves along with, just other exercise in general to keep your joints mobile and limber. So now what I want you to do is pull your toes in and push up on your toes, and then push your toes out and push up on your toes. So we're just moving in different directions here. Again, just still warming up the feet, maintaining that tall posture, breathing. Good. Just going to do a few more of these. And let's see. Okay, I think that's good. We're going to shake it out. So the first one you're going to do, and again, hold on to the chair, take a leg forward and start rotating that ankle. And if you want, you'll see if you can let go and maintain this rotation. Or maybe you're just keeping a finger on the chair. Just a point of contact that lets the brain know you're not going to tip over. All right, and then we're going to go in the other direction with that rotation. And meanwhile, the stabilizing leg is working hard here to keep you from tipping over. Rotate, rotate, rotate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. You're feeling that in the hip flexor. That's working. Okay, other leg. And start rotating that ankle. Try to make as big of a circle as you possibly can. Again, let go of that chair if you can. Or just keep a finger barely touching the chair. And then change directions with that ankle. Rotate, rotate. Meanwhile, your stabilizing leg is working hard to keep you upright. Your glutes are working, your core is working. So maybe you're bringing it up a little sweat here. I'm feeling it. Okay, and release. Whew. Okay, next one. Single leg abductors. You can hold onto your chair again to start off with and just get that leg out to the side. When your foot comes back down, don't put any weight into it. Don't let it land into the floor. So it's just out and down, but float it right over the floor. Take your hands off the chair or keep a finger on the chair or just hover your hand over the chair. Use the chair as needed. Keep it going. You can feel all those muscles in your feet are firing as that stabilizing foot is working. Couple more on this leg. And switch it out. All right, I'm going to move my chair over to the other side. Start by holding onto that chair and out. Now, if you feel like these are really difficult and you're not mastering them, that's totally fine. This takes practice. This definitely takes practice. These are not easy moves. Now, you don't have to bring your leg up as high as me too, just a little bit out to the side, especially if you're new at this. I have a lot of flexibility in my legs, so I can come up higher, but just the idea is to just get that leg out away from the center, bring it back in, and that's the goal. Last one. Okay. Now, the next one, you can feel the muscles in that stabilizing leg really working. So you are gaining strength with this in addition to training your brain to get on with the balance. And it's really all about the brain when it comes to balance. So the next one, we're going to step back. You're going to start with your toe tapping the floor. So here's my left leg goes back. My left hand goes to my knee. Or you can come all the way down and touch your ankle if you want. And then bring it in, and I'm floating this leg. Tap it and come up. See how I've got one arm as I come forward? Now, if I've got my leg floating here, if that's too difficult, just tap, bring your foot to the floor and bring it in and see if you can balance. Bring it to the floor, pull it in and see if you can balance. So just play with that. You can feel that stabilizing leg is a little wobbly. It's working. Once you get this, and we'll keep practicing, this takes time, you can come down lower and bring it up. So the foot to the floor, barely touching, but have a point of contact, or just float your foot back and bring it forward. You can bring that knee up, whoops. Find a focal point, that helps too. And rest. Okay, we're gonna go to the other side. Again, you got your chair, bring it back over. That right leg steps back, right hand goes to the knee, pull everything forward and see if you can balance. Tap it back. If it's too hard to balance, just bring that foot forward and hold on to the chair. Just take it wherever you can. This is great start. You have a point of contact on the floor and you have a point of contact on the chair. Once you've got that ingrained in your brain, then you can see if you can pick everything up and not touch the floor. Maybe you're just touching the chair, and then eventually you're coming down and you're coming up without having to touch anything. But this takes practice. So just giving you some ideas, you could take one of these moves and incorporate it into your day somewhere along the line. Sneak in some balance as your day goes on. Let's do two more here. And again, whoops. Last one, down and up. Okay, next one is, I'm going to move the chair out of the way. You're going to take a big step over and balance. Whoops. Big step over and balance. Now, if you want, you can take that toe to the floor and just get your brain on board with what you're doing. This would be the first step. Just bring that toe in, barely touch the floor. Second step, bring it up and balance. Third step is you would swing. Now you got more momentum in your balancing, more momentum. So pick, whoops, any one of those. And if it's wobbly and stuff, that's okay. You're catching yourself from tipping over. Working those muscles. This lateral movement is so good to strengthen those ankles. Side hops or keep it low impact. Your choice. One foot on the floor or just float over the floor. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. The next one is, I want you to imagine you're standing right in the center of a clock. You're going to take your left toe and point it to 12 o'clock. Point it to 9 o'clock. Point it to 6 o'clock. And go back and forth and just kind of get used to that. Maybe cross right over and tap it over at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock, tap it over. Now, if that feels okay with your toe hitting the floor, see if you can do it by just floating. Float to 12 o'clock, float to 9, float to 6. A little harder. This is where you might want your chair out in front and just crossing over. So again, we're just playing with that. Tap the floor ever so lightly or just float your foot right over the floor. We'll do one more on this side. Over, and cross. Let's go over to the other leg. This time, right leg points it out. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And again, tap the floor. We'll tap the floor. And if that feels good, go ahead and float right over the floor, cross it right over the 12 o'clock to the 11 o'clock if you want. So you can play with this. Whoops. See how that feels. Maybe you want to bring your arms out to the side to have a little bit more counterbalance here. You're not holding onto a chair. And again, that stabilizing leg is really working. You can feel it working. Find a focal point, something to look at while you play with this. Last time. Back, tap, front, and over. Nice job. Okay. What's the next? What do I have here? Side to side. We did that one. All right. So leg swinging from side to side. You're going to plant your leg, plant your weight in your right leg. Take your left over in front and out to the side. Cross in front, out to the side. Maybe make it really small, just to one side of the foot and then to the other side of the stabilizing foot. So we're balancing, but we've got motion. All of these are really tricky because you're moving while balancing. Helps to bring those arms out. Cross it over, cross it back. Let's switch legs. Plant all your weight in there. Cross it over, cross it back. And breathe. And as I said, these take time and practice. So just even if you took a few of these, one of them even, and just snuck it into your day somewhere and start working on your balance a little bit every day, it builds up. We need to plant those new neural pathways in our brains. I want to repeat it one more time. So what's the first one? Single foot circles, back to our circles. Again, holding on to that chair if you need to. No shame in holding on. And it takes, as I said, lots of practice to get it into the brain. This is what we're doing. We really do lose our balance as we get older, so it's critical that we train our balance. Let's go to the other leg. Circle. Keep that breathing going. As you're focused and concentrating, make sure you're not holding your breath. Big inhales, big exhales. Rotate the other direction. Getting that mobility through the ankle at the same time, strengthening the other ankle. Great job. Back to those leg abductors. You can hold onto the chair or hands on the hips. Maybe you start off with just a step out and bring that foot down to the floor. Kick it out, bring it down to the floor. See if you can float it over the floor when you come in and not land on the floor. So we're forcing the other leg to stabilize some more. And again, doesn't matter how high you get that leg up. 2 more on this leg. Out and out. Now over to the other side. Tap and bring it in. Tap and bring it in. Start with just laying down that pathway for your brain. And then once you've got that, take it out and in, floating over the floor. Take those arms out to help counterbalance. Nice. Feel that stabilizing leg working. 2 more. Last one. Okay. Take your left leg, step it back, take your left hand, tap to the knee. Bring it in and balance. Step it back on the floor, bring it in and balance. Now, see if you can float it back and bring it up. Float it back. You can have a hand on the chair. You just work at whatever zone you're in. If you're brand new to balance, these are very challenging. Just play with it. And as you get better at them, you can make them harder. Go down to the floor, bring that knee up higher. Look. Try other side. Tap it, bring it in. Tap it, bring it in. Tap it, cross down to the knee, bring it in. Down to the knee, bring it in. Maybe you go down to the shin, a little bit below the knee. Look, find your focal point. A little bit more advanced would be coming down. Now, that's going to have to do, your flexibility is going to play a part in that. So just work within whatever feels good and whatever feels doable. You start wherever you are and you build from there. Here's the last one. Nice job. Let's go step and balance. You're going that big wide lateral steps and balance. If you need to, bring one foot in and just tap the floor until that feels good. Once that feels comfortable and you got all your weight in one leg, the other leg is just tapping on the floor, but there's no weight in it. Bring that leg up. And then if you want, the next level would be to hop, land, kind of stick the landing, find your balance. Hop, land, whoops. There goes my balance. That's kind of fun when you're at that point. You're just you're moving with momentum and then you're having to stop and stick. Couple more, wherever you're at. Last one. and hold it. All right, back to side to side. Bring that leg in front, cross it out. Bring it in front of the other leg, cross it out. Again, hold on to that chair. Bring your hands out wide to help. And we'll go back, whoops. Find a focal point, something to concentrate on as you're working through this. Nice job, last one. Other leg, cross it over. Now, feel free to tap the floor and bring it out. Tap the floor, bring it out. Maybe you're holding onto that chair, and then see if you can float over the floor. Bring your leg across the center line and then adduct out to the side. Not only are you working those ankles, you're working your hips big time at this one. 2 more. Bring it out. And last one. Bring it out. Okay, one more quick one. You're back in the clock. You're going to tap or float over those clock numbers. Cross it over. Step it out or just tap it back, or as I said, float over the floor. And just know, we're only going to go through 2 rounds of this, but you can come back to this video and play with it. Or even, as I said, just take 1 or 2 of these moves and master them. Let's go to the other side. Tap the floor first. Set down that pathway and then pick up your foot. Float. Again, you can have your hand barely touching the chair. Just a finger, pinky. You're not putting any weight into that chair. It's just a point of contact. Last time, side, back, cross it over. All right, you guys, there's your balance practice for today. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Be a totally different kind of thing. Workout. We're going to be working some big muscles tomorrow. So I'll see you then.